Today, I'm going to share with you the 4 major warning signs that your customers are already giving you that if you knew what they were, you could predict the future of your business. I'm Chris Van Ittersum, and I've spent my entire career studying distributors like you and studying their habits so that I could unlock some of the secrets and put them into software and solutions in order to improve the industry. I've seen hundreds of warning signs that distributors should be watching for, but I boiled it down to the top 4 that I think are the most valuable that every distributor should be really paying attention to in order to make sure that they're going to have a successful year in and year out. First, I want to start with what you're seeing in terms of customer sales. Are you seeing a dip in sales that's very obvious? When customers are spending less with you than they did in the past, this is something that you can clearly pick up on in the data. There's several things that are probably going on. Number 1, you're not keeping up on the necessary communication habits. So in other words, if it's you, you're not calling those customers enough. You're not reaching out to them enough. You're not making enough of a contact frequency. And in other words, you're really not doing enough to make sure that the relationship that you have with that customer is strong. The relationship is key. If you're calling customers just to make a sale and not making a relationship, you can count on that customer going away over time. The second thing that I see with that issue is you're not keeping up on market pricing with your inventory. You're going to see pricing decline, but if you don't make those declines at the right time, your customers will notice that your pricing is too high. Similarly, if the prices are increasing and you're not keeping up on top of that, you're just giving margin away. So you've got to keep up with product market demands, and you've got to keep on top of your communication habits with the customers to maximize what your customers are spending to keep them spending at the same levels month in, month out. So the second warning sign is seeing a decline in customer count. So what does that mean? It means that last month you sold a certain number of customers, and this month it's smaller, and the next month it's smaller. And sometimes it can be hard to identify why. We've already talked about one of the main reasons, which is not keeping up on top of the customer communication. Like for example, if you're waiting for your customers to order from you instead of you reaching out to them, that would be one main thing that you could improve on. But besides that, what I've really noticed is distributors need to be focused on continuing to grow their customer territory. You cannot rely on the same customers that you've had from last month to continue buying at 100% this month. You're always going to have some level of attrition over time, so you've got to be focused on growing that customer book. What are you doing in terms of leads? What are you doing in terms of reach outs to other customers that were inactive to get them back reactivated again? What kind of offers are you making into the market to grow your customer book? If you're not doing something to constantly grow the book of business that you have, you can count on your customers declining over time. There's that old adage in sales, you're either growing or you're shrinking, and we need to be growing. Okay, so now we're on to our third warning sign. Our menu of products that we sell is shrinking. If we have a certain number of products that we're selling in one month, and then the following month we sell less products, and then the following month we sell less products, we might not catch this right away, but it's something we need to be watching for. So here's some of the signs I like to notice. The first thing is you're constantly being asked about product that you don't carry. We've got to be worried about our inventory and making sure that our inventory is keeping up with market demand. So if we have a lot of customers that are pivoting, they're going from one product to another, or one product is losing favor and another one is coming in with favor, and this could happen with seasonality, it could happen with holidays. We've got to keep in top of which direction the market's going so that we've got the products that our customers want, so that we have the selection that they're after. This can present as obvious when our customers go ahead and start cherry picking our inventory too. When you start getting customers that are calling in and all of a sudden they're just doing less and less with you, one of the key signs to watch for is, are they asking for new product? Are they asking for product that you don't have? And what are you doing with that information? Are you getting that through to your purchasing agents? Are you getting that through to people who can manage that vendor relationship to grow what you're able to sell to the customer? We've got to keep on top of the product line and keep up with market demand there in order to be successful. We also have to keep on top of our market pricing. If pricing is eroding a little bit on products, we need to keep up with that. We don't want to lower our prices, but if the rest of the market is doing that, unless there's some factor that's keeping our price high, what we'll notice is we'll just stop selling that product. We need to be paying attention when sales is coming back to us and saying, hey, I'm getting price pressure on this product or that product. An obvious thing that you can do is go ahead and get with your vendor and see if there's a pricing relief that you can get on the vendor side as well. And trying to find out, is the whole market dropping? Because if so, we should hopefully be getting some cost relief on that as well, so that we're not taking a beating just by reducing our price, because then we're just going to be eroding our margin. Those are things we might want to take advantage of in order to keep the product flowing in the same way that it was in the past. Okay, so if you've reached this part in the video, so far we've been talking about our customers and our products, and we've been watching sales decline, we've been watching our customer counts decline, we've been watching our product counts decline. And all of those things are related to habits that we have with our accounts and habits that we have with our inventory. And that brings us back to The top warning sign that we can find as a distributor that's going to make all of this really obvious, our profitability is dropping. This is something that we're all facing right now. So I want to share with you some of the main things I've seen that we can address that help us keep on top of this. Number one is we've got to do a better job pricing our inventory effectively to maximize ROI. So what do I mean by that? We talked about already cutting price when necessary to meet up with market demand. What we haven't talked about yet is increasing pricing when you can to maximize ROI when possible. What you can do is watch for signs when there are product shrinkages. And if you can get your hands on product like that, or in some cases, you're lucky enough to already be holding it, you've got to see that. When you see that early enough, you can raise that price before all of your inventory disappears at that lower price. This can increase your margin dramatically, and you need to be doing this every once in a while in order to have the overall book at a higher level. So it's really important that we keep track of what's the feedback from sales. Is there something going on in the market that we can be aware of? Is there something going on with the vendors that we can be aware of? Is there a strain coming? Is there a shortage coming? Is there a new product coming out that's going to disrupt? We have to be able to take advantage of what's happening that would put us in a position to win. So there you have it. The 4 top warnings that you can see as a distributor: less sales to your customers, less product movement, and ultimately less profitability. The best distributors have better habits. They're watching their data and they're using it to make the necessary actions to stay out of the storm. And you can too.